Welcome back to my channel. This is Anani. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate having you. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you a part of my channel and joining my community. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for giving this channel another view. I do appreciate you and your support. Today's video I do feel is going to be a good one. I think it is a necessary video to kind of give you guys an update of kind of where I am now in life. Like I say, I do think it is important because I do get asked this question more than you would think, actually. More than you would think. And again, I do think it's a valid question. I do think it does need an explanation. I do think it warrants an explanation. And I'm sure you guys have read the title of this video. So today I'm going to be discussing kind of where I am now in my spiritual walk. I'm not going to go like too deep into it, and I'll explain why, but I am going to kind of give you guys like an overview of kind of where I am mentally, how I've grown, and kind of some of my thought processes, like I mentioned now. For starters, I get asked the question a lot, am I still a Hebrew Israelite? Do I still practice the Hebrew Israelite faith? So if you guys knew me or have known me and have been with this channel for a very long time, you can go back and look and see that, you know, I was heavily in the Hebrew Israelite community. You'll see I even, you know, released songs, Hebrew Israelite songs, and if you guys know me kind of like from my Facebook community, you will know that I was very heavily into it as well and things of that nature. So I do know you guys are probably hearing me saying was. When I say that, I'm not saying that I don't still believe a lot of the concepts. So I definitely want to preface that. But like I say, as I explain kind of in this video, kind of where I am now, like I say, I have a slightly different thought process, but we will explain it. I joined the Hebrew Israelite faith when I was, when I was like 13 or 14. So I was just starting high school. I was just starting high school when my family kind of stumbled upon what we call in the Hebrew Israelite community the truth. So when we stumbled upon the truth of kind of who we are, you know, according to our melanated DNA. Before that, I was a Christian. Yes, I was a Christian. And you know, I was non-denominational, but you know, we still went to church almost every Sunday. You know, we still did the Christmas thing, the Easter thing, you know, anything that comes with Christianity, we did it. My father was a pastor, and he even like there was this hospital that he would go and preach at and everything. And some of my earliest memories are my family and I, when we were little, like going and sitting down and listening, you know, outside, hearing him speak to the patients at the hospital. My mother was always the kind of, what's the word, like outreach. Like she liked to do a lot of outreach work, so she would, you know, be one of the people that would, you know, go under the homeless bridges and, you know, give the packs and, you know, all that kind of a thing. Like that was something that we did. So yes, before becoming a Hebrew Israelite, we were a Christian, or my family and I were Christian, and then we transitioned to that truth. I was what I would classify as a Hebrew Israelite probably for around, I'm 24 now, so it was probably for around eight years, eight or 9 years, give or take. And so, you know, during that time, I was learning about, you know, who we are, you know, according to the Bible, and, you know, getting that knowledge and learning the do's and don'ts and all of that kind of a thing. And I do want to preface this video by saying this. Hebrew Israelism is not to be bashed, okay? Like I say, as I continue in this video, I'm going to explain certain concepts, but Hebrew Israelism is not to be bashed. I don't feel like I would have been able to be who I am right now without that cornerstone. I am a truth seeker. I am a truth seeker. I was raised that way. I was raised by my father to always do what's right, and I was raised by my mother to never be afraid to find out what the real truth is, wherever that takes you. Even if it takes you to places that are uncomfortable, you find what the truth is and you chase that truth down by any means necessary. So with that being said, Hebrew Israelism was the key, I feel, to starting to unravel the mysteries that this world holds. Hebrew Israelism is one of the stepping stones, because in it I learned a lot. I learned that everything in this world is not what it seems. I learned that I think I even learned the beginning of just how intricate, just how intentional, just how amazing, just how deep the Most High is. I haven't, of course, we haven't even scratched the surface, because He is all things, but I learned, key concepts about that there are laws to the universe. There are laws to things. There is order, and things like that, and there are things that can be followed. I learned that the melanated is so much more than the world makes us out to be or wants us to believe. Like, there is so much power in being wrapped in this melanated coating, and it comes with so many gifts. It comes with so many privileges. Melanated privilege, let me tell you guys, is a thing. Your melanin comes with so many codes that you couldn't even begin to decipher. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that the Most High, he did something extraordinary in creating us, in creating the melanated. So, like I say, all of these key things, these concepts of generational curses. You hear the world saying generational curses now, but let's never get it confused. Let's always keep it 100 where that iconic saying came from. That iconic saying came from the Hebrew Israelite community, from going out and doing outreach and telling everybody that, hey, we are the chosen people. We're in these situations because we're cursed, but we're trying to break generational curses. So now it's, this viral saying, but let's never get it confused where it came from. It came from the Hebrew Israelite way of life. And like I say, all of these things and these concepts, and like I say, even in the Hebrew Israelite community, I was non-denominational. But I am aware of all, the Hebrew Israelite, I don't know if you want to call it sects or groups or what, but all of them, from, IUIC to GOCC to HOI to Rebirth of a Nation to all these different groups, and even though, like I say, I was non-denominational, I do see the benefit of even all of the groups, for what they are. Like, for instance, IUIC, I definitely do credit them for the start of bringing this kind of truth out into the world. Now, I don't necessarily agree with their concepts in some regard. We won't go super into it, but I still am going to give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, all these different groups, you know, pushing the truth out there and letting people know the basis of who we are and things of that nature. So like I say, the Hebrew Israelite community, I will never bash it, because it is definitely the cornerstone for who I am now. And I think that it does come with a lot of truth. It definitely does come with a lot of truth. And I respect it for what it was. It taught me so much that I can't even begin to relay, I think, on this video. I feel like there was a point in my life where I started doing a lot of introspective spiritual work. Throughout my time, you know, even as Hebrew Israelite, I was an avid studier, an avid studier. I would frequently get into debates with with mores and things like that, and I would be showing scripture, and you know, I was a firecracker. I deep dived and used concordances, lexicons, and cross references, and all these kinds of things. So I've always been, you know, a searcher for truth, a searcher for knowledge, and things like that. But I say all that to say, you know, there was a certain point in time, I think it was when I turned 22, that I started doing a lot of introspective work. And I think during that time, I came to a lot of conclusions. And one of those conclusions, I think, was that there is so much truth that is still out there, if that makes sense. And there are so many things that are still to be learned. Okay? And so what do I mean by that? In Hebrew Israelism, you know, we are kind of taught that this is the truth, you know, that this is 100% what it is, you know what I'm saying? And we're also kind of taught that Hebrew Israelism is not a religion, you know, it's a way of life. But I'm going to say this, and again, it might sound controversial, it might sound extremely controversial, but I do hope that you just put on your empathy ears. But yes, one of the things that I did come to realize is that even Hebrew Israelism, in the way that it is right now, even that is still a form of a religion. Okay? Even that is still a form of a religion. And the concept, I think, that this is the only truth, other things are not the truth, and things like that, I think for me and kind of where I am now, it no longer quite sits right with my spirit, if that makes sense. Like I say, I was raised to follow truth no matter where it takes you. So, like I say, throughout my path in life, you know, I ran into the Hebrew Israelite truth. And like I say, that taught me a lot, and there's a lot of truth in it. But I found that there's even more truth. That eventually took me to the Bantu truth, that again says the same concepts but goes even a little bit deeper. And then that truth took me to other truths and other truths and other truths, and I've built my beliefs that I have now, you know, based on me going on that journey and trying to chase down truth no matter what avenue. To stop at that, to stop at Hebrew Israelism would be to, I feel, deny truths that the Most High would have you to seek out. Seek and you shall find. It almost has a tendency to stagnate, and I think that all religions have that problem. Like I say, now whether or not you consider Hebrew Israelism a religion, or you're saying, well, no, this is my faith, this is my way of life, that is completely your prerogative. But in my journey, I have found that even that is kind of religious. And so I don't classify under any religion. I am not religious, I am spiritual. And I think that means a different thing. Now with that, am I saying I don't believe in the Most High? Absolutely not. I definitely believe in my higher power. Am I saying that I don't believe that blacks are the chosen people? Absolutely not. I definitely think that the melanated is the chosen people, and I think that that comes with so many other truths and so many other things as well. Do I think that, the concept of the 12 tribes is not real? No, I think it is real. Even myself, in my truth seeking and things of that nature, I do think that there is a such thing as a priestly tribe and things like that, and I actually do think that I fall under it. And that's even why you see some of my taglines and priestess princess and things like that. I do still believe in those concepts and things like that. Like I say, do I still believe that there are laws to the universe and that there are some things that you should and should not do? Yes, absolutely. Things like I say, like not eating pork and things like that. I still do subscribe to those things, and keeping the Sabbath day. I still do subscribe to those things, because like I say, in me seeking out truths and things like that, these things are things that still ring true to me. You know what I'm saying? But are there other things that, like I say, in Hebrew Israelism we are taught that no, that's wrong, that's bad, and things like that, that I do? Yes. For instance, like I say, I am a believer that the Most High created everything with intention. Everything you see in this world, I'm telling you guys, has intention. There are things that I found in the Rastafarian way of life that I feel is true. There are things that I have found, like I say, for instance, concepts like reincarnation. People would attribute that to like Hinduism, I believe, but that is actually a spiritual concept of the Most High that I do find true. This one again might be very controversial, but in the Hebrew Israelite way of life, they kind of see things like crystals and even sometimes sage and incense as witchcraft. But in my seeking out of truth, I have come to find that the Most High literally makes nothing by accident, and everything in this world has a purpose. So yes, I do believe that crystals and rocks and things like that hold a certain vibration. I do believe that sages and incense can clear your energy around you from my studies of it. And like I say, scientifically you can even measure such things. And like I say, even some things like this were in the temple, or even in our ephod. Come on, like certain stones aren't in the ephod just because they look pretty to the eye. Like all of these things have purpose. They have reason. There is reason for them. There is nothing is coincidence. I learned in my studies, nothing is coincidence. Everything the Most High does is intentional. So like I say, to be confined, like I say, to one set of ideals as this is the truth, the only truth, nothing but the truth. For me, that no longer kind of sits well in my spirit. um, like I say, I am open to wherever truth takes me, and I will seek it out wherever I have to go to find it. You know what I'm saying? Religion is a bit organized in the sense that, like I say, it almost teaches that don't listen to anything else. Everything else, blasphemy. Everything else is not right. You listen to this and this only. But no, there is truth everywhere. There is truth everywhere. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened. Like, you can't be afraid to figure out that maybe something that you thought was right might not be 100% what it is. And like I say, I was taught that yes, in your quest for truth, sometimes it might be uncomfortable, but that shouldn't stop you from trying to get to the bottom of it. You know, I'm not looking to be, like I say, under a organized set of principles. Not saying that I'm not under the law, but you know what I'm saying, like this model of like a church, or like a, you know, you have congregation or things like that. Or I'm not really under, like I say, the thought process anymore of I need a title of what I am to save me. I don't think that way anymore. I think that the Most High is within the melanated. I think that He gives us the spirit within us that is holy. He gives us our conscience, which I feel is a lie detector, in a way to put it. But and I feel like you use that. You use that DNA. You use your conscience. You use your spirit that is within you, that is holy, that the Most High gives you, and you go seek truth. You go seek truth. You go find it, and be open and free to be taken where it is you need to be taken. You know what I'm saying? To find what resonates for you. I believe that in your life, you're going to have to, you know, trial and error, see, okay, does that sit right with me? No. Okay, did that sit right with me? Yes. Do I find this truthful? No. Do I find this truthful? Yes. And like I say, to be confined in one set of ideals, for me, I don't think that's what the Most High would have me do. I think it's go out there and find what it is. You know, find what it is that you feel is the truth. And like I previously mentioned, you know, even with like the crystals and things like that and stuff like that, you know, people would look, like I say, and think it's demonic. But sometimes we put the term demonic on things that we don't always understand. And like I say, in my research, I realized that the Most High has purpose for everything. It's so genius. For everything, and nothing in this world is made by accident. So, yes, I'm at that point in life. Like, religion kind of teaches you that you need an intercessor. Spirituality says, how can I save myself? How can I save myself? How can I get to the highest state possible for myself? You know, how can I learn how to harness that energy, that DNA, that God particle, how can I activate it within myself? And what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? What does that mean for me? So yes, like I say, that is where I am, I think, now in life. Like I say, in conclusion, of course, like I say, I still believe in the Sabbath. I still believe in all of these concepts. Like I said, I still consider myself a Levitical priestess sort of a thing. But above all, I consider myself a truth seeker. And so, wherever that takes me is where it takes me. And I'm not afraid of that. I'm not scared of that. I was taught to be that way, be that person. But again, this is in no way, shape, or form bashing Hebrew Israelism. Like I say, it was the stepping stone, it was the cornerstone for me to be who I am today. I think Hebrew Israelism, like I say, whether you consider it a religion or not, but in this video, because I do, I'm going to refer to it, but I think it was the religion that had the most truth, I think, out of you know, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it showed that, whoa, you know, there is something to this black skin. There is a reason why they hate you. It's a reason why they come after you. But like I say, I think that even in Hebrew Israelism, I do think there are some flaws in that. So to think that it is 100% truth and 100% the way of life, to me, in my spirit, I don't think is necessarily accurate. Because like I say, in doing my research and things like that, some scriptures have been changed, some additives have been added, some, I hate to say it, but some laws have been tampered with. There's some laws that look very, very, if you want to put it in a worldly term, misogynistic. But when you do deeper research, that's not quite what it is. Like I say, to think that your oppressor is going to give you back a book with no changes in it, yeah, I mean, you can ponder that. You can ponder that. Do you really think your oppressor is going to hand you back, here you go, here's a book that's completely like the original, no changes whatsoever, you guys get on that? Come on, we know who these people are. We know how they work and how they operate. So like I say, it is even things like that, and even a lot of sometimes the doctrine that is getting based upon in Hebrew Israelism is based on misinterpretations and things like that. But like I say, is it more truth than most? Absolutely. But even some things, like I say, in the Hebrew Israelite truth need to be, from my studies, need to be harder, and then some things need to be, you know, reconfigured and things like that. But like I say all this to say, guys, this is my journey, this is where I am right now, and that is kind of where I am spiritually and what I classify as. I know, again, this might seem controversial. You are more than free to to disagree. I totally understand, and everybody has their prerogative. But yes, I do appreciate you guys. If you have listened this far, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I do appreciate it. And now you guys know a little bit more about where I am in my life. So with all that being said, it is very hot. It is very hot, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys again. Please tune in to the next video. I do hope to see you there. Please watch some of my previous ones if you haven't already. And with all of that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.